onto the main road. My mother says she wants to get out and inspect the vehicle for damage. We were still in my grandmother's Subaru Outback. When we stopped off the road, we discovered that the right mud flap on the rear had come off. That's exactly what the rock did to the automobile. My mother insisted that we return. Our grandmother was about to be severed. We returned up Broad Hill Road to the pitch-black night after the grown-ups exchanged some words. When we got to the dirt lane at the intersection of Broad and Weed Hill, we saw that the vehicle had disappeared, leaving no tire tracks. My aunt jumped out and retrieved the missing mud flap, which further added to the disarray. She jumped back into the vehicle, and we drove away more cautiously. Back near the farm, we soon came upon a group of hikers with a dog. We slowed down and asked whether they'd seen any more automobiles, to which they said that they hadn't. Either the truck had driven in the other way, leaving no tire tracks, or it had entirely disappeared. We eventually made it home, still a little spooked, with the mud flap in hand. We got out of the automobile. My mother and I came to a halt. We could hear what sounded like a scampering deep in the woods, as if something large was running fast on all fours. We heard a lady cry, then another, as if they were being slaughtered out there. We had made it all the way over to Barkhamsted, and suddenly there were creatures in the woods. My mother tells me, "Don't cry. It's probably a fisher cat." I sniffled and nodded. Fisher cats are uncommon around here, but not unheard of, and they do howl in a similar manner. The crickets then became quiet. As a woman's voice was borne by the wind, everything was quiet. It ridiculed me, but seemingly only I heard it as my mother took me inside slowly. The forest surrounding our family's mountain house had returned to normal. I awoke earlier than normal the following morning, about 6 a.m. For 4-year-old me. That was unprecedented. When I stood up and peered out the large window facing our garden, I saw an odd object circling under the window. I dashed downstairs to see my grandfather standing at the glass porch entrance. "What's the matter, Grandpa?" I inquired about him. He doesn't take his gaze away from the window. "Tell me you saw that as well, son." I agreed by nodding. "What exactly is it?" My grandfather gave me a glance. His eyes, which reflected the sunrise's light, had the ears of a cat and the snout of a dog that were much too large to be any of the neighboring cats or dogs, ranging in size from a great wolf to a small bear. It was entirely coated with black fur. He took a step toward me. "There is nothing to be concerned about. It's no longer there. It is not going to return." He sat in his chair in front of the television. "Our secret is that it was present. Don't go around asking folks, 'How about some bacon for breakfast after all these years?'" That night on Weed Hill Road, I believe we came upon something very terrible. Faceless individuals that followed us home showed themselves to be twisted black creatures. I suppose we came upon a hellhound, maybe many of them. The 3 guys had transformed into a dog that could not be understood, at least not correctly. They then followed us home, making cries and scampering noises. I believe there is something horrible out there, and if you choose to go there now, good luck.